Good morning and welcome back to the one Celtic fans view. Today, it is game day. If you've ever worked away from home, if you've ever stayed away from Scotland for any length of time, there's a moment
Celtic
that
fans
Jota will
view
feel
today.
tonight. It is game day. There's a moment that Jota will feel tonight that many people have done. And when you've worked away and you walk back through the doors of Celtic Park for the first time in a long time on a game day, you get a special little feeling. And you get it at the start of the season. You get it at the start of the season when it's been the summer's been and there's been no football. There's been no football, and you walk back. You're on the bus and you're going back through to Parkhead, and it's like, yes, back to football. And Jota's going to feel that tonight, and it's going to be absolutely brilliant watching him come out and train with the lads back on the pitch. And we'll all know the emotion that he's going through because we've all done it. We've all had that emotion, and it is absolutely buzzing to see if Jota starts tonight. Will Jota start tonight for his return to Celtic Park, or will Brendan Rodgers stage it? Yes, will Brendan Rodgers milk it for all it is? Will Celtic milk it for all it is? Will they wait until a certain time in the game and then bring him on to the standing ovation of the fans in the stadium? And it's the homecoming king. The homecoming king. No start Jota, Coonan Dyson too good, says Ty Timms. Baz, I get a tear in my eye every time I walk through the gates. It's a fantastic feeling, and there's fireworks going off here. It's 10 o'clock in the morning. It's broad daylight, and there's fireworks going off. Anyway, Johnny Kenny. Let's talk about our strikers. Yeah, no. Johnny Kenny took to social media, and now that he knows that he is staying at Celtic, and he's Celtic's second choice striker. Yeah, Johnny Kenny did take to Instagram, and he put on Instagram, "It's been a pleasure to be able to play for Shamrock Rovers for the past 2 seasons. I'd like to thank the manager, his staff, the fans and teammates for making everything possible for me over the past 2 years. Times I will never forget. Thank you." A little love heart. Go on your cell, lad. He knows that he is at Celtic, and after making his debut, just about 3 weeks ago now, he made his debut for Celtic, and it's the new dawn. It's the new dawn having him as a striker. It's been a while since we've had someone come through the academy. Yeah, there's fireworks just going off again. Unbelievable. I don't know why they do it. Spanish are nuts. So yeah, back to Johnny Kenny. Johnny Kenny is saying that he's loved these past 2 years, and it's what Johnny Kenny's doing. It should be a little word of, don't chase the cash to some of the younger players in the squad, in the B team. It should be, there is a chance that you'll get into the Celtic team. If you go and do what they say, don't listen to your agent sometimes. Sometimes just trust in the process, trust in the management at Celtic. And Johnny Kenny done that. He went back to Shamrock Rovers on loan for 2 seasons, and he's come back. He's built himself up physically. He's a better player than he was when he left, which is what the process is all about. And it's going to be absolutely fantastic to see him coming on the pitch tonight as well, because stepping out at Celtic Park is a massive moment for any young player. And we should milk this for everything it is. We complain about younger players not getting the chance, and now we've got one that's getting a chance. So if he makes a couple of mistakes, don't jump on his back. If he's not the perfect finisher, don't jump on his back. Give this young lad all the backing. We need to make sure that he turns into the next 20-30 million pound player. And if he's came through the academy, it's even better. We've not spent tens of millions to bring him in. These are the guys that we really want to succeed at Celtic. These are the guys that are like me and you, that will give the right Aram to play for Celtic, and it's going to be a fantastic day for him and Jota. The starting team, we spoke about the starting team last night. It's going to be an interesting one. It speaks for itself, the team. But there was a little bit of other Celtic news kicking about, and obviously it's to do with an ex-Celtic captain, and he has been asked if he was interested in the Motherwell job. Yep, Scott Brown. I'm going to record the full interview, and I'm going to put it up. It is a lengthy interview, and I will get it on the channel later on. But Scott Brown was asked about the Motherwell job and his ambitions for himself as a player. And I've listened to the whole interview this morning, and I've got to say, it was some interview. But let's get the thoughts of Scott Brown first of all.
Everyone at the club last week, Scott, was kind of holding their breath. Clearly there was interest in you, and ultimately you've decided to stay. Everyone's thrilled about that. Was the biggest thing? Surely you don't doubt that?
No, for myself and Stephen, we're in a good place at this moment in time. We're enjoying our football. We're in a club that's in a healthy position at this moment in time, with a chairman that's got a drive, that isn't a dictator, that sits and lets us do what we need to do, and that's your budget, that's your whatever your playing style is, you do it, and he's got full faith in us, and we've got full faith in him, and it's a huge pull that to have that. And don't get me wrong, we've got ambitions, we've got dreams as well as a coaching staff, and we want to try and push everything as far as we can, and we want to develop as well to be the best we possibly can be.
I think there's interest from a Premiership club. It's obviously it's a compliment to you, and it's a compliment to the club how they're going, but there's been a few theories put around as to why you decided to stay, but was the biggest one what you've got here and the relationship you have with people, the ambitions of the club?
For me, I came in 9 months ago now, and I wanted to have a drive, I wanted to have a vision as well, and my job's to make all these players better. And whether it's daily, it's sort of over 9 months, it's over a year, we want to see there's a gradual improve in the way and the style, but also touch and feel and understanding of the game as well. So for us, we've got that. We came here with a 2-year contract, and for us the chairman offered us an extra year, and it was a no-brainer at the time. And as I say, the club's in a great place, we're in a good place at this moment in time, but we need to make sure we keep pushing standards.
When you came here, obviously you had to kind of consolidate and settle in, but was your top ambition to one day take the club into the top flight?
One game at a time, yeah. No, the last season was obviously hard, and there was a few injuries when we came in. The squad probably isn't as strong as what it is now, and we got rid of a lot of players, and including a lot of players that played a lot of games last season. So we made the conscious decision to try and turn the club around from what it was to what we want it to be. And the chairman, for us, was being brilliant with that. He was like, it's your vision, it's your way, it's your madness behind the method. So he says it's completely up to you. So the players that we've brought in, we've done really well so far. We're happy with the team, the squad with us.
Is that something that you're very much you're driven, but ultimately you make a decision yourself. You don't shy away from a big decision that you have to make, no matter what other advice you'll get.
No, I don't go running to Brendan and to Lenny and to Gordon. Now and then when I need something, or if I'm maybe struggling with personality or how to deal with a couple of people, you ask a couple of questions. But for me, I'm big enough, I'm ugly enough to deal with the big situations, and you have to make those decisions. Like last year, we let go our captain.
That's Scott Brown talking about the fact that Bruni does still speak to Brendan Rodgers, Neil Lennon and Gordon Strachan when he needs a little bit of advice. So that interview, I will get that interview in full up. It is on another platform, but who cares? It's getting put up on this channel. But anyway, Johnny Kenny is one player that is over the moon. We've seen that this morning. And another Celtic news, let me just put up here. Jeffrey signed and had his interviews yesterday, and he arrived on deadline day from Crystal Palace on loan. And he went on to say as soon as he learned of Celtic's interest, there wasn't a moment's hesitation for making the move to the Scottish champions. And now he's at the age of 32. He's determined to do everything he can to help Brendan Rodgers' side achieve their goals in the remainder of the season. His first day at Lennoxtown, the left-sided player spoke to Celtic TV yesterday, and he went on to say, "I'm super excited. It's actually been one of my dreams as much as many others to play for such a great club like Celtic. I have the pleasure of playing here about nine or so seasons ago in pre-season match. And I've actually been to the stadium before, and the atmosphere is absolutely something else. As soon as the opportunity came up, I was really excited about it. Everyone speaks about the experience of playing at Celtic, the atmosphere, the fans, the stadium. It says, as you're driving up to it. The pre-season game in 2016 was actually a match between Celtic and Leicester City in the International Champions Cup, which finished 1-1 with the English side winning the penalty shootout. And Casper was one of the first people that he spoke to when the opportunity came up. He explained, he says he messaged me and we spoke, and he told me how great the club is and how much he is enjoying playing here. I can't wait to link up again with Casper. And he's went on to say it's great to be working with Brendan Rodgers. I haven't worked with him before, but it's great to be watching it. I've watched Celtic in the Champions League and the boys have performed well, he says. He says to be able to get a draw like Bayern Munich was very exciting for the fans and everyone involved at the club. As much as enjoying the experience in the game, we want to win it. We want to get through to the playoffs. So Celtic have got this focused. They want to try and win against the Germans. There's going to be some undertaking if we do, but we've got a game tonight against Dundee that we need to take care of first of all, before we even, and then there's a game this weekend. So I'm planning to do everything that I can to repay the manager and his faith that he's bringing me here, and I hope I can put in some good performances and we as a squad can achieve things. That was Jeffrey. Gus, welcome to the One Celtic Fans View. Now that the window's closed, says Dave Morton, can Jota get a haircut? Can Jota get a haircut? It's a bit harsh on Jota. Celtic news-wise, it is obviously, people are talking about the ifs and buts and whys and maybes, and I think that it's really time to move on. The window's closed. There's nothing that can be done, and like Brendan Rodgers says, you can't change the past. And we can't go back and open up the window again. So for me, it's done and dusted. We move on. And the farewell message from Johnny Kenny, it was absolutely fantastic. I'm really looking forward to seeing what Johnny Kenny can bring to the game at Celtic. The game where it was at Celtic Park, and he was in and around there for the goal. He will bring a different dimension to what Adam Ida does. It will not be the same as Kyogo, but I'm sure he'll have a fantastic start. What's happened to the handlebar bars? What? Yeah, the empty celts. That was it. It let all the steam out yesterday. It got rid of the negative energy that was in the room. It got rid of the negative energy. Sometimes you need to dispel the negative energy to get back to thinking about one thing, and that's going for 55. It's time to ramp that up. We are going for 55 tonight. We can take a step further forward in our quest for 55. We win this tonight, we go 13 points in front at the top of the SPFL, which, when you look at it, is at this stage of the season, people wouldn't bit your arm off to be going into the turn of the season. We're over the halfway mark now. Celtic have played 24 games. Most other clubs have played 25. Only Dundee, who we play, has only played 24. So, having had at home, we've had 10 wins, 1 draw. We've had no losses at home. We've scored 34 goals at Celtic Park, with only 2 goals against all season. It's a fantastic home form, and I think tonight will be another goal fest. And our away form has been a little bit different. We've had a great number of goals. We've won 10, we've drawn 2, we've lost 1 away from home. We've scored 33 goals away from home this season, and we've had 10 against. We've conceded 10 goals away from home. So Celtic Park is the fortress that we all want it to be, and I think it's going to be a bit of a goal fest tonight. I'm still going to go for 4-0 Celtic. Dundee will play a really tight game. Sitting on 63 points at the moment. We could be sitting on 66 come this evening. with a goal difference currently of 55. There is absolutely no one catching us. And yes, the 55 is written in the stars. Sitting on a goal difference of 55, we should exceed that tonight, and I'm hoping it goes up to 59 by the end of the evening. So let's jump into the comments and see what you are saying this morning. Let's see who is all on this morning. Josh Davidson's on. Good morning, Baz. Jim McClarty is on. Willie Mann's on. Peter Larkin is on. Morning, guys. Yep. If Baz is wearing a black hat, he's still angry. No, not at all. Not at all. You get all that negative energy out you, and it's all good to go. You just move on. Celtic are making a move for Diogo Costa. I'd say that was nonsense. I would say that was nonsense. I've never seen anything about it. I'd just say it was nonsense. Would you start Jota ahead of Yang? I think it's a case of at home, with looking towards the Champions League, do we rest tonight? Thinking about, or do we rest players at the weekend? Brendan Rodgers has got a massive decision to make tonight. When you see the fixtures for the weekend, Celtic have Dundee United at Celtic Park this weekend. So we play both games will be hard games against Dundee and Dundee United. Do we rest Dyson Maeda tonight and start Jota? Give Jota that extra 60 minutes game time? Or I think I would actually. I think I would start Jota and give Dyson just that little extra bit of game time off, just to keep players fresh. Jota needs the game time. He needs the minutes in his legs, and especially coming up for the game against the Germans in a week's time. I think that we really do need to. I would start Jota, definitely. I wouldn't start Yang. I would start Jota on one side and Kuhn on the other. But we know that ultimately Jota likes to play on the side that Kuhn plays at. So it could be a difficult one. Could be a difficult one for Brendan Rodgers to Baz. Have you been what? Jason Youngblood. There we go. Good Jason Youngblood. I'm just sorry, I'm catching up, and there was a message came up there. It's a cup game on Saturday, Baz. Yes, it is the cup game on Saturday, and it's Rafe Rovers this weekend. So yeah, I would rest. You're right. It's Rafe Rovers this weekend, so I would rest Dyson Maeda tonight for 60 minutes of the game. Give Jota a good bit of game time. I think then Jota would do the same at the weekend. You start him for 60 minutes or so, just to get the speed back into his legs, get him back up to match fitness, and then go for there. We'll start fast with Maeda. We'll start Dyson Maeda. We'll start. It's going to be an interesting one. I mean, Jota is. I think Brendan Rodgers is going for 4 up front, Jota on the wing, when Maeda and Ida and Kuhn on the wing. Nope, he won't do that. He's not going to change formation. Said no one ever. I don't think Brendan's not going to change the formation. They will keep the formation the same, the 4-3-3. I can't see him making a change of formation. Dyson isn't going to be your second choice striker. He said that. We know that Dyson can be a striker, but Johnny Kenny is now your second choice striker. Dyson Maeda will retain as a winger. So people saying that, we're going to play Dyson through the middle as a striker, that's way off the mark. Way off the mark. Your second choice striker now to come on when Adam Eder runs out of steam at the end of a game. If he runs out of steam, I mean, Adam Eder's got a great athleticism about him. I think that Johnny Kenny will start getting game time. You're not going to weaken the wing by taking Dyson Maeda and playing him through the middle. You're not going to weaken the wing at all by doing that. And Brendan Rodgers pretty much said that. Spacey's going for 4-1 tonight. Thomas is going for 3-0 tonight. Dave Hislop's going for 6-0 tonight. Celtic 1888 says, let's get out and scalp these 4-0 tonight. Jota and Ida score. I think that there could be something in that. Jota to score on his return to Celtic Park, and I think will he be as emotional tonight? And will he get the men's 10 out on by a man that couldn't score against Celtic? Yes, Fat Boydie. Bold move, starting Jota before Maeda, who's our best player. It's not a it's not a bold move. I'm thinking 2 games ahead, and I think Brendan Rodgers will be thinking 2 games ahead as well. You get Jota. You start Jota tonight just to give him the game time, and then you get him the standing ovation coming off, or you bring Dyson Maeda off in about the 65th minute to give Jota the game time. It's all about getting Jota up to full game speed. That's what it's all about. I mean, he looks fit enough to me, but when it comes to match fitness, he reckons he's not there yet. So I think that's what Brendan would do. That's just my take on it. If it was me, that's what I would do, especially thinking about the game against the Germans. You've got the cup game this weekend. We should be able to do one of our Rovers. They've just brought in a keeper on loan. I think that for the benefit of the players, I mean, you could even see Johnny Kenny getting more game time. I could see that if we're winning 2-0 tonight, give it to the 75-minute mark, and you could see Johnny Kenny coming on. You could even see Johnny Kenny starting as the main striker against Rafe Rovers. Don't be too surprised if that happens. If that was to happen this weekend, you would get Johnny Kenny was to start as the main striker with Adam Ida on the bench. Don't be too surprised at that. Jota sub at 63 minutes to come on or go off at the 63-minute mark. Baz Celtic will win 7-0. 7-0. Interesting. You would hope that it would be a good scoreline, but when teams go to Hearts and play Hearts, I mean, I know that Hearts beat them, was it 5-0 or 6-0 or something? Teams definitely play different when they go to Hearts than when they come to Celtic Park. They come to Celtic Park and they set up not to concede a lot of goals. And I think that's what's going to make it. But then again, you never know. You never know. Jota needs a month at Lennoxtown before he's ablaze. He's good enough to get some training with scoring and assists. He's had 18 months out. Keep it up, forget about that. He's not had 18 months out. He's had 18 months where he's not played week in, week out. He's still been training every single week. People think that he's been injured. He's not been injured. You know, we're talking about match fitness here. We're not talking about his overall fitness. He's still been training over the last 18 months. He's been training every single day at training. He's not been sitting in the pub drinking pints and eating kebabs. Do you know what I mean? The match fitness, that's all that's missing from Jota. It's not his overall fitness. His fitness is there, or Celtic wouldn't have signed him if his fitness wasn't there. The only thing that's missing is that match sharpness, and that comes with game time. You know, you're not talking about 2 or 3 months for Jota to get up to speed. You're talking about 2 or 3 weeks maximum. Dundee 11 keeper, as usual tonight. Yep, Dundee 11 as keeper. Dundee will just sit back and just try and soak up any pressure, all the pressure. Adam Ida hat-trick, I've put a bet on. What was the odds on the Adam Ida hat-trick, Richard? Tell us that in the comments. I'd like to see Kenny get some more time and start against Rafe Rovers. I think that Johnny Kenny will start against Rafe Rovers. I think that he'll be given the chance to shine against Rafe Rovers, while Adam Ida will be rested, thinking with the game against Germany, the game against the Germans. But low blocks usual tonight. Yeah, I know. It gets frustrating when you're sitting at Celtic Park and it is all just one way and it's not fast flowing attacking football. And you know, when you go to games and you're sitting there and there's not a lot of space for to get in behind teams, it does make it for a boring game. But hopefully Dundee will come out tonight and try and have a bit of a go, considering the last time that they did play Celtic, and they're way down the bottom of the table. I mean, they're not going to want to get absolute hammered tonight, because Ross County is 1 point behind them, and then St Johnstone have actually managed to win a couple of games and they're on 21 points. Everyone thought that St Johnstone are automatically going down, which is a shame because it's a good away day. Ross County and St Johnstone are one of the two bigger grounds that we get allocations for, you know, and it's two decent away. Well, St Johnstone, there's nothing great about the St Johnstone as an away trip. There's no pubs or anything near it, so it's a case of off the motorway into the park. into the bus park in front of the stadium, and then you're just kicking about there, aren't you? So St Johnstone, I'm not too fussy for St Johnstone going down. Alan, if you're watching, apologies. I know that you're a fantastic St Johnstone supporter, but St Johnstone, it's not. I don't really care for St Johnstone going down, to be honest. Ross County, it's a fantastic away day, and that's why I like Ross County staying in the league. Dundee, if they were to go down, do you know what? It said Kilmarnock and Hearts was always going to be the ones that I wanted to go down this season, but Hearts have managed to jump away up the league. When you look at how rock bottom Hearts were in the league, they went from bottom of the league to sitting on 7th position on 30 points. So it's all to play for when you look at the bottom half of the table. When it comes to the top of the table, Celtic are on the march again, steamrolling to 16-1. That's good odds. Derek is going for 5-0 Celtic. The good guys, Ida, Kenny, Jota, Maida and McCowan to score. That would be something else, especially with Brendan Rodgers saying, look, I don't need a striker that can score 30 or 40 goals a season. You know, I want the striker to play the position. I want him to play the space. I thought that was an interesting chat with Brendan, talking about strikers, and he wants strikers to play the position, play the space, and create room for others. And that's why Kyogo was so good, because he played that space. He maybe never scored the goals that we were expecting him to score, but then again, Kyogo missed an unbelievable amount of sitters this season. The other hand, there's a guy that seems on form for Celtic now, running through the middle of the pitch, and Adam Ida will start tonight. I think if Adam Ida gets 2 goals tonight, he'll be brought off around about the 70th minute, and Johnny Kenny will be brought on to see what he can do against Dundee. And then I still think that Johnny Kenny will start the game at the weekend with Adam Ida to come on late in the game. In the Cup, 16-1 is good odds, cracking odds for that. Jason Lee, he's going for Calmac, Bernardo, McCowan for midfield. Against Dundee, no, because it is another must-win game, and I think that Brendan, that could be your lineup for the Scottish Cup. You'll see Arne Engels rested for the Scottish Cup. You'll see Rio Hatate rested for the Scottish Cup. So I reckon, Jason, that will be the starting lineup on the weekend, not tonight. I think it will be a strong starting lineup tonight. The three amigos tonight: Adam, Ida, Kuhn and Jota, 3-0 the boys. Interesting. Kalmak, Bernardo and Engels tonight, says Joseph. Nah, I think Rio Hatate will start tonight, and Arne Engels and Kalmak. That's who I think will start tonight. Brendan will want to get this game done and dusted and put to bed as quick as he can, because he knows if he can do that, he can then pull off some of the players. Shouldn't have said that. He can take off some of the players and he can take off some of the players and rest them, because we are thinking ahead to the weekend. I think there'll be a big changes this weekend for the Raith Rovers game. Hope Rangers new Dundee signing doesn't get injured. I would rest McGregor for the big game. Time he gets a rest, he needs it. I think that John, he's been rested well during international breaks in this season. It'll be interesting to see as we get closer towards the end of the season, where I think that Kalmak might even get rested this weekend against Raith Rovers. I think not tonight. I think Kalmak may get rested at the weekend. But it'll be interesting to see what happens. We've got to win the game tonight. It's a must game. Brendan Rodgers will go out all attacks to get the game done and dusted as quickly as possible, and then he'll make some changes. If we get the lead in the first half, we can start resting people early. I think we need to go 3 goals up. We need to be a clear 3 goals before Brendan will start taking players off. He knows that we played badly in defence against Dundee. We let away sloppy goals. We conceded 3 in the one game against Dundee. That will not happen tonight. Brendan Rodgers did say that. He said that there's no chance will we play as bad as what we did up in Dundee. Rodgers better not take Ida off after scores 2 like last time. It was 25-1. It was raging. I think if he scores 2 tonight, if he's doesn't look like scoring the third anytime soon. He will be taking off for Johnny Kenny to come on. We will be live as always, an hour and a half before kickoff. We'll get the team as it comes out by Brendan Rodgers, and we'll see what the bench is like. See who he's got on the bench. We all know who he's got on the bench because it is a small squad. So it's not even difficult to pick the bench now because all the players that were on the bench have departed the club. Schlup Mo Fuckers. I was waiting on somebody changing their name. Schlup Mo Fuckers is going for 3-0 Celtic. And on that note, have an absolutely fantastic day, wherever you are, Celtic fans, all around the world. Oh, madness.
Roll up to the party, roll up to the party. Roll up to the party, roll up to the party. Roll up to the party, roll up to the roll up to the party.